They're on their way out of Egypt, on their way to the desert. And God's like, you know what? It's time for me to turn this story up a notch. So even after the Passover happens and Pharaoh loses his firstborn child and all the other Egyptians, he makes Pharaoh's heart harden again. So Pharaoh gets up the troops and he's like, let's go chase these Israelites. Why do we even let them go? Pharaoh got a split personality at this point. But in all seriousness, if that doesn't tell you anything, that should tell you that God's hand is in everything. God is controlling Pharaoh like a puppet. And although he's controlling him, it's good things that happen to the Israelites and it's bad things that happen to the Israelite. But both times God is in control. And this is why you got to remember, just like our conclusion of the first book of the Bible, Genesis, everything happens for a reason. And remember, every reason is God's. Everything is controlled by God. Good or bad, he always has a spiritual reason as to why he does things. Now, one thing I always like to say is, I am saved, not soft. But clearly, these people back in the day were very soft. So, Exodus 14:10 says, when the Israelites saw Pharaoh and his army coming towards them, they were very frightened, and they cried to the Lord for help. They said to Moses, why did you bring us out of Egypt? Did you bring us out of here in the desert to die? We could have died peacefully in Egypt. There were plenty of graves in Egypt. We told you this would happen. In Egypt, we said, please don't bother us. Let us stay and serve the Egyptians. It would have been better for us to stay and be slaves than to come out and die in the desert. They are literally in the desert, wishing that they were back in Egypt being slaves, all because they see the Egyptians coming towards them. Where is their faith? The Egyptians haven't even gotten to them. They can just see that they're on their way, and they've already forgotten about what God has done for them. God just got them out of the desert. God saved all of their children. They're watching the Egyptians have their firstborn sons pass away, and they got their children. They leave Egypt with riches and gold and animals and everything. God has provided for them. And how quickly they forgot, how quickly they let go of their faith just because of one little inconvenience that hasn't even touched them yet. If it's one thing I want to tell you right here, is that God has a track record. Not only does God have a track record just in general amongst other people's lives, God, I'm sure, has a track record with you. So God has done so many things in your life. God has gotten you out of many